I like to make the drawer pulls out of solid lumber. This is just a scrap that was in my lumber cart. I'm not exactly sure how wide it is. It's probably about 1.5 inches wide. It doesn't really matter. What I've done is I've set my blade to about a 30 degree angle, and I'll just rip it at that. So this will mount onto the face of the drawer like that, and then this is where your fingers can grab to pull it. So I don't want to sand down these two sharp edges here since they're gonna go against the drawer, but I do wanna sand down this part here so it's not so sharp when you grab it, and I can sand down this part also. And I'll cut out 6 of these. Before I attach those pulls, I'm gonna sand everything really smooth. One other thing I meant to point out yesterday, I forgot about it in all the excitement of building drawers, is that whenever I make the bottoms of my drawers and I set them into rabbets, I always set them deeper than, I make the rabbets deeper than the edges, so that when the drawer is sliding either on runners or on these shelves, there's a lot less surface area. It's just the edges of the drawers that are sliding in and out, and it just makes them slide a lot easier. I guess a traditional way of positioning a drawer pull would be right in the center of a drawer, and I guess one could argue that it might look nicer there, but I like to line these shop drawer pulls up to the top of the drawer like this, just because it's a lot easier than having to try to find that center on each drawer. And actually, I think it looks just as fine. So what I've done is I've just drawn a tick mark in the center of each of these, and then a tick mark in the center of each of the drawer pulls. So I can just line those up, glue them into place. I don't think any clamping is necessary on these. And now we wait. That's long enough. Really doesn't take that long for those to grab a hold so I can move on with my life. What I want to do is push these all in to where the drawer pulls are flush with the front of the cabinet. Then I can glue in some blocks in the back. These are just some scraps that I can glue in here. I'm not putting glue all the way to the edge because I don't want that to touch the back of the drawer, and glue them together. So just set that in like that. Again, these don't need any clamping. I just realized that I'm not even in this shot. What kind of a production is this? Look at that. Oh, hey, there I am. Let me move this up. This is also why I have glue all over my camera, and paint, stain, everything. I don't know what difference it makes. I always feel like everybody just wants to look at me while I'm doing something. I just know when I'm watching videos, it gets kind of boring just to see hands. It could be anybody's hands. I could just hire a hand model and you wouldn't know. So this way it's proof that I'm actually doing the work here. Yeah, I go that extra mile for you. Really surprising how strong glue is without any clamping. If you've ever just accidentally left some glue on a board and another board is glued to it, and you've tried to pull them apart, you'll find out that you just can't. I mean, really, I guess the whole reason for clamping things really is just to keep them from moving while the glue dries. Well, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'll give you an update on Cobra and Bubbles. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to teach them tricks. I got a clicker. You know how a dog will sell his soul for a treat? Well, apparently you can train cats. Probably just have to be a little bit more patient. But so far I think it's working. I mean, it didn't take long to get them to recognize that the click means treat. So now anywhere they are in the house, you just go click, click, boo, they just come running. So what I'm trying to do now is teach them to shake hands. That's the first thing I'm doing. So I'm trying to, I do like this, click, treat, and then I go shake, and I'm doing like a hand motion, shake, so that they'll have to reach out their hand and touch me. And so shake, and then they just stand there like this. And So I have to like grab their paws and I'll be like shake and I'll give them a treat, click, treat. So it's all just like burning those motions into their brain with the clicker. It's really just mind control is what it is. Okay, let's put this back in place. Did you guys see Extraction? It's that Chris Hemsworth movie on Netflix. It's one of those movies that Netflix promotes, and it's like, every time you turn on Netflix, it's like right there. You gotta see this, watch this movie, watch this. And they just keep beating you over the head with it until finally I was like, all right already, I'll watch the movie. And then I watched it and it was like, it was all right. I'm not much into action films like that, but maybe if there was like a story, but there's like no story. There were some pretty good action scenes, I guess. I don't know. I guess you could do worse if that's your thing. To make sure the drawers slide in and out easy, I always like to apply some paste finishing wax to the runners or the bottoms of the drawers here where they are in contact with the runners. All you gotta do is just wipe this on, wait for it to dry, maybe 15 minutes, and then just buff it down. Now just take a clean dry rag and buff it out. You'll be surprised how well these drawers slide once you do this. I mean, it makes a big difference. One other thing about this type of drawer, if you make them and you're a little bit leery that you might get a little excited and pull it all the way out and have it come crashing down, you can put in a thin strip of wood underneath the cabinet, very thin, so that, put it in under here, so that when you pull out the drawer, it'll stop when it hits the back of the drawer. That's kind of a really old-timey way of putting in a stop. I don't do that on any of the drawers that I make for the shop because it's just me using them and I never pull them out so far that they come crashing down. I know about where they're going to stop and I just stop right about there. Oh yeah, that is much better. I can reach the belt and this feels just about right. Guess I should check and make sure the compressor fits in there. That would kind of suck if it didn't fit in there at this point. All right, let's see. Hopefully all of my measurements worked out. Oh no. You know what happened? I didn't account for this part of the hose that sticks out here. It fits in there fine except for that. I don't want to have to unhook that every time I want to use this thing. Wow, I'm really glad I didn't put that extra shelf in there too. If I'd put that top drawer in there, it would have been really hard to get this in here. That part I'm happy about. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just cut a notch in here. One other thing I want to do is attach this strip down here because this compressor vibrates a lot and it tends to walk, and hopefully this will keep it from falling out. I'm just going to screw this in because I may need to change the size of it or the positioning of it. Hey, actually this might work out better because what I can do is make a hook out here that I can just attach this to. I'm kind of thinking maybe just a Velcro strap around here would work out good. Let me know your thoughts if you got any ideas on that. But do you like how I justify the fact that I screwed that part up by saying, you know, this is actually going to work out better because I can put this out here. I think that's it though. That actually will work out better. I don't know. I guess until I figure something out, I can just keep it in here. So what about that? I think that looks pretty cool. Okay, well, I guess that's not urgent right now for me to figure that out. This is gonna work out fine as is for now. I'm gonna wait and look through the comments, see what some of your suggestions are before I come up with some sort of a hook for that. But the bigger thing I've got to deal with tomorrow is rearranging this shop so I have a good workflow, and that's gonna mean moving that big behemoth of a cabinet over here. Luckily it's on French cleat, so it's not that hard to move. It's kind of heavy though. Making progress. The shop is never a finished project. I'll see you guys tomorrow.